I think that an artist is defined by a life of exploration. It's most important that you have a focus and a sense of experimentation about whatever it is you're trying to get at, whether it's language or illustration or any type of idea you're trying to explore and really question what things are and why they are. My goal with art is to cause the viewer to understand the limitations of language and understand how important interpretation is. Because even as I'm talking right now, people are gathering their own interpretations from what it is I'm saying. But there's still something that is unconnected. There is still something lost in translation because my ideas have to pass through the language that I was given. I think that words are very interesting. I think that words are naturally abstract because we attribute meaning, ideas, concepts to these words. But when we visually look at the words, they are just shapes. I've been looking at a lot of Asian calligraphy and how words can attain new meanings by simple shapes added to them. Those influences have been translated in my own work and the philosophy or concept behind my work. Taking something that is, to me, unrecognizable, but understanding that this represents the same thing that our language can. Words are an attempt to define something that's undefinable, because I think words connect to the soul and are an expression of feelings and ideas that we can't really get inside of somebody's body to understand. I think the thing that drew me to abstract painting the most was a sense of improvisation and being able to create something that at the beginning I had no idea what it would look like. Embracing spontaneous creation rather than working from something that is traditional and realistic. When you work that way, you already know what you're trying to achieve. You have an idea of what your painting or your work should look like. But working abstractly has allowed me to create something that I had no realization that I could make in the first place. When I start my paintings, they're all about the moment that I'm in, what my emotional state is, what my psychological state is, and they're very much based in the action painting. For me, that's where art lives at, that's where it stays at. And a painting is just a piece of evidence on the wall of a moment in time where I've made something. So when I start to make my paintings, I choose a word or I'll choose a sentence, something maybe from a poem, something maybe from a song, maybe just a word that I think sounds interesting. And then I write that word on the canvas, and then I continually respond to the marks that I've made on the canvas, allowing that painting to be a call and response where I take a moment to reflect on what I've done, ask myself, is the painting finished? What can I do to make it better? Re-engaging with it until it's finished. My paintings are done when I feel a sense of satisfaction with them, when I feel like they are incapable of being better or being something else. I reach a point where I'm satisfied with color, with composition, and where the painting has an identity of its own that I don't want to change. Aaron used to have this portfolio day where people could come in from other schools and places and show their portfolio of work to Aaron and other schools that were being hosted there for this event. I remember going there with my mom, and I had just like all this junk, anything that I could scrounge up to put in that portfolio I did to take there. And I remember talking to one of the professors, and they were just telling me about how, yeah, you don't need all this stuff. I brought everything that I thought was any type of good. But it's kind of embarrassing because other people just had like 4 or 5 things, and here I am, me with my mom, who's awesome though, by the way, just dragging all this junk around from table to table. The very first thing that I remember drawing me to art was comic books. When I was growing up, I always enjoyed the human figure being rendered in comic books with this overly masculine and feminine physiques. There's just something about the human figure that really drew me into art. And I started off drawing and copying a lot of drawings that I found in comic books. And then over time, I saw my own limitations with art, specifically in being with color. And that's what led to me to focus on paintings. Some of the first things I remember making as a kid is just drawings at home and trying to learn how to write my name. I can remember being in elementary and drawing superheroes, but I would always try to articulate the physical appearance of them much more than just a stick figure. There was something about drawing, it was just magical to me. You could watch somebody draw, have no idea what they're making at first, but once all the lines are connected, you finally see the picture, and that was like magic to me. I just knew that I wanted to do that, and it was impressive. I was probably one of the best people in my kindergarten class that could draw, so it gave me attention. This is a poster that was made for the high school I went to, where we had a art exhibit once a year in the spring, and this is mine, this is mine. I think those are the only two that are on there. I first started experimenting with painting when I was in high school. By my junior and senior year, I had started focusing more on painting and doing some still lifes, and they just weren't that good. This was my very first beginning in painting, probably when I was about 16, 17 years old. This was also in high school. Big long line of people out in the desert. That's what I felt my life was like. Just in high school, sitting there, bored, wanting to move on to bigger and better things. Just felt like I was standing in the middle of nowhere, waiting for nothing. But I had great high school teachers. They really nurtured me and allowed me to do all this work that a lot of other kids weren't allowed to do because they didn't take art class seriously. When I first started college, there was so much that I wanted to do. There was just such a plethora of things that I really wanted to learn. But I chose painting because that has been a challenge for me. I didn't want to learn about something that I felt would be uninspirational. And there was a sense of romanticism about painting, to go out there and to put everything on the line, to get a degree that can be almost worthless, and to take that challenge, to take that leap of faith, and to really follow your dreams. That's why I chose to be a painter.
When you remove the ones that seem less relevant, you can focus on the trajectory of the idea through your work.
Right. For example, if you focus on
I think that being an art student is a lot more challenging than what some people think. It's not like reading a book and learning how to complete a math problem. You have the question and a variety of answers that you can come up with. And none of them are specifically right or wrong. It's just how you articulate your answer. And that's a lot harder than I think most people think. Yes, in my thesis paper I talked about word association and how when I use a word, it is unique to me in my own way. We don't use words strictly exactly. The thing that stood out to me the most about the faculty at Heron is the diversity within the painting faculty. There's some people there that are doing very conceptual work, some people there that are doing very realistic, traditional glazing, and there's other people there that are experimenting with the concept of painting and what it can be. And that was probably one of the nicest things, was to have all these teachers with different backgrounds, different ideas, to help try and give you a path to go down. But ultimately, it was up to you to choose which path, which direction, or to just ignore them and make up your own. Well, it feels good to be done with school. It's also very daunting though, because I know now that I don't have this cushion, this classroom to go and work in and to work at my own pace and to dream of things happening in the future. This is the moment now. I have to start making things happen. I have to start getting out there and doing all the hard work that I heard about. Now this is the time to actually do it and make it real.